The live stream of tonight's podcast is made possible by our buddy Ian Service over at podcastaccelerator.com.
Well, Wayne's got decisions to make. Seems Jivin's redemption didn't take. So at Pete's place that night, the Hicks bring the fight, but then wonder what it all means in its wake.
That fresh produce stand there, that's a beauty.
What do you listen to?
My favorite murder podcast.
Taggart and Torrance podcast.
The produce stand.
Fucking sexy.
It's Thirsty Thursday, and that means we are once again hanging out at the Produce Stand, a podcast covering everything in the universe. Now, I know what you're thinking. There are many other Letterkenny podcasts out there, but this one is trying to be that guy. I'm Al, your host, and joining me in the room as always is the lovely Tanya, and online, filling in for Matt, we have Josh and the vagrant Victor, and joining us this week, he is a pop culture nerd, a Letterkenny lover, a TV and movie buff, Green Bay Packers owner, Red Sox fan, but we won't hold it against him, an animal lover. He's the most recent inductee into the TPS Trivia Pantheon, a very exclusive club, and a good guy. He's a really good guy. Please join me making some noise for Jeff. Come on, Jeff.
Wondrous.
Here we go.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Wait.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I regret nothing.
Welcome back to the Produce Stand, Jeff. How are you now?
Good, and you?
Not so bad. Well done.
I got the hippo from Victor already,
Yes.
so I'm starting out the podcast great.
Everyone's really punchy tonight, and I think it's because Victor, Tanya, and I have already done a podcast today. We interviewed Drew McLeod. Sadly, Matt's not joining us tonight. He's not feeling well, and he's on some new medication that quote unquote makes him feel loopy. Which everyone in the Discord was like, "Well, what difference does that make from regular Matt?" But anyway, here we are, and so instead, bravely and very last minute, Josh has decided to step in. So, Josh, thank you for joining us too, bud.
No problem. Thanks for letting me.
Yes.
I thought about it. I would have gone and put my shirt on with Matt's face on it before I got on.
Oh, that would have been perfect.
I could still run and do that quick. Just give me a couple minutes.
That's all good. We're just going to get started here.
How are you now?
It's the second time in a row that Matt's bailed on my podcast, so I am taking it personally at this point.
That's right, and you
I'm
should.
just telling you.
He referenced that actually, and he felt even worse because
Yes.
he's like, "Oh man, this is the second."
And he's
time.
your cousin, right?
I know.
What the hell?
Such a degen.
What a degen.
You
Anyway,
know
he
what?
wanted to tell. He
Give
wanted
him
me
the
to.
stink eye at the next family reunion.
He wanted me to tell you that it's not you, it's him. So there you go. It's definitely him. So here we go with tonight's lineup.
How are you now?
Is going to be Josh, Al, Victor, Tanya, and our guest Jeff gets the last word. It's weird because Josh is also our guest, but he's going to go first. But anyway, Josh, how have you been?
Crazy busy. I'm not falling down any more stairs today, but
Huzzah.
we are in the process of getting our roof replaced. And one of the guys working on a roof did fall off the scaffolding at the house today.
Unbelievable.
So,
Dude, that's
You need,
terrible.
you need to put a sign on your front lawn saying, "Watch out for falling people."
it kind of scared the crap out of me because I'm sitting here working from home and I just hear this loud bang on the ladder outside the window. And I look over at my screen here at the cameras and I see the guy laying on the ground. I'm like, what the hell just happened? And I'm laying there and it just didn't really register. And he's laying there. So I go outside quick and he's starting to get up. I'm ask him if he's okay. And he's just laughing his ass off.
Oh my
And
god.
he's like, oh yeah, I'm good. Happens all the time. And I'm like, dude, you're in the wrong business if you're falling off the ladder all
Yeah.
the time. You need to find a new job.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there's that.
So he's all right though.
He said he was, and when I talked to the guy in charge of the project when he got here later, he had to run and pick up some more supplies, and he got back and he goes, "Oh yeah, that's not the first time. He does it at least once every job." I'm like, "Can you still hire him?"
I'm surprised. Maybe he's got a nickname like Fallout Phil or something,
Maybe
right?
he needs
Like
to get his eyes checked. Like maybe it's like a vision
or
thing.
I think
or
more of
like
a balance thing or
maybe a
something.
Well,
balance.
they've got
like
good insurance. Come
vertigo
on.
thing.
He was explaining to me he was trying to pull a screw out with a claw hammer, and he pulled on it so hard that when it finally gave loose, he didn't have anything to grab a hold of, and back he went.
It's like a scene out of Christmas Vacation.
Sure,
Yeah.
why just, I mean, he had a screwdriver in his hand. He could have just used to take the screw out, but we use a claw hammer, apparently. I don't know.
It seems like a beginner move for a roofer.
Wow.
You would think, yeah. I mean,
Well-
luckily he wasn't on the roof. They were replacing the
Drop dead Phil.
the fascia, getting ready for the to put the gutters on. But yeah,
See?
that's been my week so far.
You can do gutters in winter. Josh,
Not in this
Privis.
cold. I'm surprised they're
Josh
doing it in
Privis.
this kind of cold weather.
They were supposed to replace the roof tomorrow.
What?
They had to reschedule because it's going to be too cold. So they're doing that
Yeah.
on Tuesday when it's supposed to be in the 50s.
Wait, Josh, where are you again?
He's in Pennsylvania.
South Central Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's nuts.
40 degrees today. I don't know what that is in.
Yeah, I don't know what that means in
But tomorrow it's only
Celsius.
supposed to be in the 20s, which would be below zero for you guys. So
yeah,
yeah.
no. Oh,
You
it's
can't- you
fucking
can't.
cold up here. It's going to get really like the
Tonight's
polar.
going down to minus 26 without the windshield.
Yeah, that's in socialist degrees. I don't know what that is in freedom degrees, but
if it makes you feel any better, I was out there today in my shorts and t-shirt, no shoes. So
no. Well, I was out in my t-shirt this morning too, putting the trash out, but I was only out there for like 30 seconds, and I was running back in.
and I'll probably be out in it again that way tomorrow. So
Nice.
that's just me.
Wow.
That's upcountry behavior.
Yeah, tell me about it. All right, let's see my week. I'm really tired today because I've been pulling double duty all week, and I know I shouldn't complain because Tanya
Duty.
pulled double duty when I was off at that sales conference, and
Comes around.
she got me back good.
Yeah, I did.
Although
I
first,
took myself out with it.
she took a hit to get me back, but last week I had to take her to the hospital on Friday because she couldn't move her shoulder, and her entire arm. Anyway, so she's been in pain and on painkillers for the last week. And
That
like,
explains why she's loopy.
yeah, well, she was on morphine, but didn't do anything for it. Now she's on codeine. Like, it's crazy what she's been on. Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed. I was kind of looking forward to the morphine trip. I was like, yeah, these are going to bring on some pink elephants for me, and did nothing. Nothing. Like it was like, okay, they've given me a placebo. This isn't anything. It was crazy.
They could have. Maybe they just screwed up. Maybe they did give you a placebo.
I don't know. It didn't. I was like waiting for her to feel more happy, and it never came.
Nothing.
It was weird. So then I gave her some of my Tylenol 3s, and that made her feel a little more loopy.
That was a lot better. Yeah, that was stick a fork in me and I'll play with it for a while. Like no feeling. That was much better. That was what I was looking for. That was.
Anyway, so it's been a busy week with me pulling double parental duty, and our son turned 16 last week, and been kind of we had my parents and Tanya's parents over for coffee and for cake on Saturday, and
I was out of it.
yeah, she was out of it. So
I wasn't there.
and then
I was there, but I wasn't there.
yeah. And then so it's been kind of busy. And now this week we had a couple hours ago had our interview with Drew McLeod, the editor for Letterkenny, or an editor on Letterkenny and Shoresy, and that was amazing. So now here we are, and everyone's feeling a little punchy because I think we're all a little sleep deprived. But Victor, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling okay. The week feels like a blur to me because today has been crazy. I've been literally on the phone since 6 a.m. this morning.
Wow.
From 6 to 6, 12 hours, doing like early morning presentation in front of basically the kind of our big 8 countries that are part of our firm. And then that went till 6, then we switched to our interview. Then I had a bit of a break, and now here we are. So
You're a
that's
trooper,
been
man.
my day.
You're a trooper.
Yeah, so I mean, the week is a bit of a blur. I try to be a little more on the Discord that you guys are on.
I've noticed. Yes.
I kind of drop in and out.
Well done.
Stirring a little trouble.
Yes, you are.
With folks, Adrian and the gang, and
yeah, we're even having people join Discord just so that they can yell at you. That's great.
I'm really enjoying that. I've been sharing some views on a 90s show that apparently seems to have a bit of a following, which doesn't make any sense to me. And also shared that I wasted my time watching the movie called You People on Netflix. I should have read reviews. It was a trash of a movie.
That's super.
Yeah, so don't watch it. It's a waste of time.
By the way, though, that 90s show,
cast,
that 90s show, Tanya and I watched it.
Binged it.
It was okay.
I thought it was good.
Yeah, Kitty and Red were great. And
oh my God, love Kitty.
Yeah, no, it's fine. All I'm saying it wasn't necessary. There wasn't any reason for it to exist.
No.
And the kid they got to play Kelso's kid was so good.
Really?
Yeah,
You thought he was so good? I thought he was just so forgettable. I thought they were
he
all
was
forgettable.
perfect for Kelso.
I would watch it
yeah.
just for Kitty,
Different opinion.
like just for her alone, just how she.
I get what you're saying though.
That's
like we're watching comedies now, like Letterkenny and Shorzy and other better comedies. That the whole laugh track thing is
the night. You know what? They could have done Night Court without a laugh track, edited it a little bit better, and it would have been fine. I'm done with the laugh tracks. I'm sorry, I just can't do it anymore.
I'm kind of with you there. Night Court's okay. It's okay so far, you know?
Yeah, I know. I'm totally with you there. It's okay. Yeah, it's just okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just okay. You know, when you have shows like Reservoir Dogs and you know what I mean? It's like different hemisphere.
I mean, Reservation Dogs, but yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Jeff, what were you saying?
No, I was saying, hopefully Night Court does get better because, I mean, it's going to be hard to live up to the original, but so far, you're exactly right. I mean, it's okay. It's nothing spectacular.
Yeah, like Melissa Rauch. I mean, she's great from that
Big Bang.
Big Bang.
Yeah.
And so I think she'll be fine. And you know, John Larroquette's great. The others, if they can develop those other characters, they may have something there. But you're right. Watching a sitcom with a laugh track seems so kind of antiquated at this point and unnecessary for sure.
Like an example, right? I'm not saying Superstore is this great show, but that's a prototypical sitcom they did without a laugh track. So it works. You can do it. You can do a sitcom without a laugh track. That's just a stupid put your brain on a shelf kind of a sitcom. Yet, so that's why you don't need to ever use a laugh track ever again.
Or have a live studio audience. Then, if you want to have that feedback, the audience feedback, have an actual audience. Not for sure. Anyway, Tanya,
hi.
How are you?
I'm better, thankfully. You kind of took some steam out of my.
Sorry.
So my week was crap.
Your week is kind of tied to my week. That's why.
my week was the opposite of yours, but I was in it. You were dealing with it. So I missed a really great interview. I haven't heard it yet.
That's right. Andrew Anson last Friday. That's the other one that.
And that was Friday. So the Friday, I've been having arm pain. I hurt myself back in November when we were moving out of our room. And then that pain just kind of lingered and continued on for the last few months. And then it got worse and worse and worse. And then I went for a massage on Monday, which remember it hurt so good. And then until it didn't. On Friday, I woke up.
Then
and
it hurt so bad.
It was like tearful. Like it was screaming, excruciating pain. Could not get my arm to move, which is my right arm. So like if it was the left, at least, okay, fine. I can't do stuff. But the right just kind of shut me down completely. Not that the pain shut me down, but then it just made it that much harder and difficult because couldn't do anything. Couldn't get my hand to even get to the bathroom sink, like to pull it forward, to get my shirt off or like nothing. I couldn't do. I wasn't functioning. Anyways, hospital visit. They confirmed that I've got calcium deposits in my shoulder. Which is causing all of the inflammation and the crazy, insane pain that I was in. Tendonitis, yep.
The good news is it isn't frozen arm.
Yeah, frozen shoulder.
Shoulder.
Yeah, so originally the doctor thought it was frozen shoulder along with tendonitis because I couldn't get my arm up. I couldn't move it. But now that we've got the inflammation down and I've been on some painkillers and anti-inflammatories and it's more under control, I've got movement back. So that is I've been very good with doing my exercises and icing, and it's very hard for me to sit still. So I usually crochet when I'm sitting because my hands have to do something. And I can't do that even right now. So it's been difficult to stay still, but thankfully the drugs knocked me out. So I'm sleeping for the most part, which was also a very big pain because I couldn't lay down. The gravity on my shoulder made me even more in pain. So I was sleeping for the last week in the lazy boy, sitting up. It's just so not comfortable. But the silver lining of that is that I'd be able to sleep on a plane now, I think, which I wasn't able to do before.
No, seats on planes don't recline.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to sleep on a plane. You're supposed to enjoy the experience.
Oh boy.
Oh my God.
It's like a train,
Victor.
right?
Victor,
Yes.
I watched a show today. So again, I'm doing nothing. So I'm sitting and icing and watching a show, and this Netflix show, I don't even remember what the hell it's called. Extraordinary Interiors, I think it was called, or Extreme Interiors.
Okay.
Anyway, there's a guy in Toronto that I need us to find, you specifically. So from the outside, the house, the whole premise of the show is from the outside, the houses look normal, but from the inside, they are not normal. And this not normal people, they have built in the basement a train. And I'm like, oh my, instantly.
A replica via train car in his basement.
Like the inside of a car, I guess.
The outside and inside.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, like
Wow.
he full out. So you have to watch this show. He full
That's a
out
big basement.
He full out via railed his basement, like starting from walking down the stairs, like you get the blue and the yellow stripe,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
you get down, and then there's the car, and then he's got the seats, and he's totally geeked out on like the replicas and the age and the year and
That sounds exciting. Let's go for a visit.
I know, right? He references back to, where his love started with these trains and how he cried for a week when this train, became retired or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, we got to get these guys together.
I think we found your bestie. Victor.
And he's in
We just-
Toronto.
yeah.
So just around the corner from you. So
All right,
we got to
we'll do a
make that
road
happen.
trip. Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Jeff, how have you been, bud?
Pretty decent. I mean, I'll bring it down a little bit. January was not the best month up here. Mentioned it on the pre-show. My mom slipped and fell. She's fine. She's out of just a sprain, but she's out of her walking boot as of this week. The following week, I think it was the same week that Victor lost Pumpkin. We lost our 20-year-old cat here.
Oh, that's right.
so
My
sorry.
condolences.
Which was, thank you. I mean, it was expected, but you're never ready for it.
20 years old. That's amazing.
Yeah, she's just shy of 20. I think she's about 2 months shy of 20. She's a sweetheart. Then as if things couldn't have gotten any worse, the following week out of the blue, one of my buddies, Justin, passed away.
Oh man, sorry.
And it was, that was kind of a blow. He'd been battling health problems, but he'd been getting better.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was just gone. So,
I'm so
he's a good
sorry.
guy, really good guy. Member of our, we had a middle-aged nerd board game and brunch thing that we do once a month up here. And, we're going to miss him on that. But I think, they started a little GoFundMe for him, and their goal was like $10,000, and they raised $8,000 within like 2 days. So,
Wow.
that's
good.
He's one of those guys that, he's always in the background. He's never in the foreground, but, just people loved him so much. It was great to see. So, we're going to miss him, but, he'll live on with us. He was a good guy. So February starting off, compared to that, everything's been great. I could bitch. We're supposed to get minus 47 degree weather. That's with the wind chill this weekend for that's past the point where Fahrenheit drops below Celsius. So I think that's like minus 44 in Celsius.
Oh my God.
I think the technical word for that is fucking cold.
Don't go
Yes,
out.
yes.
That's what mittens are for.
Oh man.
Oh, yeah, I think I'm going to
Stay
need
inside.
about 27 pair of mittens all at once just to get out to the car and get to work. But thankfully, it's only supposed to last, I think, like 36 hours. So tomorrow night and I think Saturday night, and we're in the clear. But it's through that. They were saying hasn't been this cold up here since the 1970s.
It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. So it'll be fun. But other than that, it's been. February can't be as rough as January was, and
Yeah, it's all uphill from here, right?
all uphill from here, and we're starting the year off right with the final episode of the season here.
Yeah.
So,
Final already. Just so
I
crazy.
know it went fast.
It really
did.
feels
It did.
that way.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like we just were talking at Christmas time that we were like getting excited that we get to have homework again.
Yeah.
But it is Groundhog Day, so maybe we can just keep
There you
reliving
go.
it.
There you go. That's
This
right.
episode goes on repeat, folks.
This is the episode that never ends.
So Dan, if you're going to be sitting in a chair for a little bit, I mentioned it in the Discord, but there's a new show on Apple Plus called Shrinking.
Okay.
I've watched the first 2 episodes. Third one's out. I haven't watched it yet, but Jason Segel, Harrison Ford, Krista Miller. It's a Bill Lawrence show.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about that one. Yeah,
Trailer looks really good. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
We're probably going to start it this weekend.
Yeah, Brett Goldstein is a writer on it. That's Roy Kent from Ted Lasso.
Yeah, so it'll be good.
Nice.
He's got a couple of Neil Goldman. He's one of the other guys from Scrubs with Bill Lawrence. Its first 2 episodes were really fun. So it's got kind of a Ted Lasso type comedy vibe to it.
Oh, I love Ted Lasso.
Cool.
That's right up my alley.
When I heard about it on the Discord, I went and checked IMDb. I guess I had no idea that it only dropped that day.
Yeah.
And the rating wasn't great. And there was one, and we scroll down, you get to read the first review, and it was a really bad review. So I'm thinking, wow, it's like, what's going on? This show's not that great. And it only, obviously, it was just starting to get the reviews in.
Yeah.
So.
All the other reviews have been pretty decent. And I mean, the Rotten Tomato score on it was really good. So I think Bill Lawrence has another hit on his.
It looks great from the trailer and from the premise.
I haven't
sounds
seen
really
anything
great.
or heard anything about it. What's the name again?
Shrinking.
Shrinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll send it to you.
Hook me up.
All right, guys.
I'll get my internet guy on it.
Yeah. So I know it's cold outside, and you know what helps with cold? Warm liquids, like maybe coffee. So why don't we listen to this word from our sponsor? And since he's not here tonight, and we all miss his voice, let's listen to Matt.
Hey there, ladies. How are you now? Do you like strong, dark coffee? Well, then you're in luck. Diabolical coffee is being served at the produce stand. It's devilishly good coffee and diabolically awesome swag. There's a roast for all tastes and even some you didn't know you wanted. You can order whole bean, coarse, standard grind, and espresso. Or if you're feeling kinky, there's a cake-up option. Use the promo codes PRODUCESTAND for 10% off anything in the store. That's 10% off all coffee and merch.
20%.
So it's time to put the D in your coffee with Diabolical Coffee. And thank you, Diabolical Coffee, for your support.
Yes, thank you, Diabolical Coffee and Eric, for your support. And speaking of support, welcome to new Twitter followers. Eric Iggy from Rochester, New York. Kodiak Jack. Bill McDonald from Michigan. Boolean Data. Jared Flanagan. Dan from Earth. Boos from Austin, Texas. Twins Shop from Columbus, Ohio. Nicholas Reed from Oshawa, Ontario. John Van Zandvoort from Eindhoven. Pinata Smashing Season from Houston, Texas. Nikki Podesta. Leslie Perkins Sharkey from Austin, Texas. Shape Foster from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Mark Peter Rinaldi. Chad Tremmel. Nicolette Becker from Staten Island, New York. Stuart Wright from Apex, North Carolina. Cryubi. Jim Johnson from Gander. Silas Condon from Midwest. Derek Pott from Endicott, New York. Busy Bee from West Dakota. John Peretta. Rick Robinson from Northern Kentucky. Joseph Dorbad. Klessard 5568. Andrew Worst Cross. This Justin Cannonball from Columbus, Ohio. John Hume. John DeTringo from Tampa, Florida. Michelle Quast from the United States. Lucian. Hunter Hurst from Alberta. The undeniable, indisputable, unadulterated DW. Brock Kirshner from Sheboygan, Wisconsin. I'd love to live in Sheboygan because I just want to say Sheboygan all the time. Mark, Neil Boylan from Virgins, Vermont. Bo Sox 26 from Oregon. Dave Voss from Glen Burnie, Maryland. Chad Adams. DS from Chicago. Marty Dickey from Medicine Hat, Alberta. Michelle from Go Bruins. E. Ketch from San Francisco, California. Lou let's see, Louisville Psycho, Kayla Maroney from San Diego, California, Jake and Tammy Hodgson from Florida. Thank you for following and hopefully for listening.
Previously on Letterkenny.
Last week, we recapped and reviewed episode 5 of season 11, Influenzas, and that episode got a fresh rating from all of us, except Victor, who gave it a clearance. According to our scientific Twitter poll, which got 125 votes, 59.2% of you gave this episode a fresh, 28% agreed with Victor, and 12.8% gave it a compost. So this week, we recap and review the season finale of season 11, Degens. Have you done your homework? Who first? Oh, Joshua, have you done your homework?
Yeah, about 10 minutes before the pod started.
That's right, you did.
Oh, good job, Matt.
Well, yeah, he had to fill in, and he filled in exactly the way Matt would have. I've done my homework. Victor, have you done your homework?
It was.
Tanya just stepped away, but I know that she did her homework. And Jeff, have you done your homework?
Improbable. Yes, about 50 times, honestly.
All right, so here we go.
Well, don't bore us. Get to the chorus.
We open on the classic setting, the Hicks sitting on the back porch, faces obstructed by the railings. Squirrely Dan says that Tanis is off the darts. Says she read an article in some Canadian magazine asking when the last time you really enjoyed a dart. Derry says he's enjoying his dart quite a bit. Wayne's having a great dart. Squirrely Dan says there ain't nothing wrong with the dart he's having right now.
Like, I know you're not supposed to like them.
Who's you?
And they tell you that they're bad for you.
Who's they?
But it's just like, quit telling me what I shouldn't like.
I think yous just became theys.
So don't go tell me what I shouldn't like.
Who you fucking talking to, bud?
I was just thinking, I can't remember the darts I didn't enjoy.
Well, it's like if you're not going to enjoy the dart, then just don't have the dart.
Well, yeah, that's the power that you have over the darts. They try to tell you that that's the power the darts have over you.
Fuck, they's got a big mouth. They's starting to piss me off.
Well, it's just because I think that, it's you running the store all the time and spending your hard-earned money on the darts, rather than the other way around.
Kind of funny, though, the thought of darts going to the store for you.
Neither Derry nor Squirrely Dan react to Wayne's comment to indicate that what he said was in any way kind of funny. Under his breath, Wayne says, they don't think so, eh? Squirrely Dan asks the others what they would say are the darts they most enjoyed. Derry says he's always enjoyed that first dart when you step off a plane. Wayne agrees that's a great dart. Squirrely Dan says there's no better pair than a coffee and a dart. They all agree. Derry says he'd have to say the dart he enjoyed most ever was the first dart he ever had. Squirrely Dan doesn't remember that dart being so good for him. Wayne agreed. He coughed so damn bad. Derry clarified that it was his first time also having sex.
Oh. They laid out like that. Changed my fucking mind. Yeah, that'd be a damn good dart.
Context, yeah.
Be a bit cliche, though, lighting up darts after having sex, though, don't you think?
Well, I had heard that you're supposed to lay with them for a little while before you go get cleaned up, so I figured I'd have a dart.
Better not be darting in bed if I'm doing up the linens.
It's just that I'd seen people in movies smoke so many times after sex that I thought that's what you were supposed to do.
Oh, no.
Same thing goes with sex beforehand. I just did what I've seen so many times in porno movies, and it turns out that is not what you're supposed to do.
No.
I think the best darts I ever had was the series of darts I'd smokes after school playing cards with my Aunt Ethels. Mind you, Ethels would call darts fags. And I suppose there's a certain amount of charm to that language coming out of the right mouths.
Context, yeah.
Derry and Squid then turned to Wayne, who's getting a bit emotional over this talk of great darts. They've always been there for him, right there in his breast pocket. And then cut to Wayne out in the field.
You want to know what? You can't enjoy them all equally, and if you didn't, you wouldn't smoke them. So hold your judgment. Because at the end of the day, I could put down darts a lot faster than you could put down the fucking internet.
Love that.
And cue the theme. All right. Joshua, how was that cold open for you?
I liked it. My favorite part was right at the end was Wayne, I can put down a pack of darts quicker than you can put down the internet. I think that kind of hit everybody there because everybody uses the internet now, whether you realize it or not. So, yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's my turn. Yeah, I enjoyed it too. I really liked, there was a lot of really subtle acting in this one. A lot of stuff being said under the breath, especially by Wayne. And it was a lot of fun, kind of just flowed really well. The whole point about, quitting cigarettes. I mean, Tanya and I smoked for 10 years and it was the hardest thing to quit. We did, but it took a long time. It took a lot of tries. But Wayne's point at the end there where Like if I was to think about it, yeah, I think quitting the internet would be even harder than that. So for sure, it was a point well made. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a fun cold open. It wasn't particularly hilarious, but I didn't mind it at all. Victor, what do you think?
Well, objectively, it was just fine. It was just another, I think, run of the mill cold opens. Subjectively, I really didn't care for it. I didn't relate to it because I never smoked.
Right.
Last start I had was in high school, and I didn't enjoy it. I never really found the intrigue. Didn't really. So I feel nothing for it. I guess I can't relate to it. So let's keep on moving. Keep on moving.
All right, 10.
I got sentimental on this one because, it was as soon as the scene comes up and the bar across their face, the back porch. I remember the very first time we saw that and how we were like, what on earth are they doing? Like, we can't see their face. Yeah. What are they doing? What is this shot about? And now I see the shot and I'm like, oh, it's Letterkenny.
You miss it.
I'm like, cause it's like, it's become a classic.
Sure.
And you're going to get something either weird, but like either like they're going to talk about their ball sack. Hopefully they're not going to talk about the ant skidooing. Because I think both of those were that cross.
Same scene. Yeah.
But anyways, I and immediately it had my attention just because I know that there's going to be this conversation. And as Al mentioned, yes, we smoked. The cigarette that I missed the most was the one early in the morning. So I used to work in home care. Oh, God, isn't that terrible that I was smoking when I was doing home care? I used to wake up at like 4:00 in the morning, get ready for the day, go out, have my coffee, and we'd smoke outside. And it was that first morning smoke and a coffee, and where the birds are out, there's no traffic, there's no other noise. And now that I'm not a smoker, I know that what I missed the most, or what I appreciated the most, or what I liked the most was breathing in and having a deep breath in and a deep breath out, which now I realize it was just deep breathing. Like that is
it's meditation.
It was meditation.
You're taking time for yourself to meditate.
It was that meditation breathing and that deep breath in and the deep breath out. Now, like still to this day, I really appreciate driving in the car, because we would smoke in the car, and having the window open, just a gap, and hearing that sound, the air rushing through the window. And that's a calming sound to me, which is still, I may have kicked the cigarette, but I haven't kicked some of the things that I did when I did smoke. And we've been smoke free for
15, 16, 17 years since before the boy was born. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was a good scene. And the line, as Joshua said, the line at the very end, loved it so much. Loved it so much.
Yeah, I can relate to this cold open because we've had this conversation with our friends who smell like, what was our favorite cigarette? I think mine was probably when we'd go to the cottage and being out on the dock in the morning, have a coffee on the dock and a cigarette in the peace and quiet. Again, you make a good point, actually. It's not the smoking you miss. It's the taking that time to sit quietly by yourself, which is basically meditation, right? Jeff, what did you think of this?
It made me want to smoke again.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I mean, I've been smoke free almost 3 years now. I quit when we went into COVID lockdown, April 1st, 2020, and it just brought me back.
Yeah.
I got to say, the first dart is never a good dart.
No, it's never. No, I mean, you don't know how to do it. You don't know how to. Yeah.
No. And then even after you quit, and then I smoked off and on for probably 20, 25 years,
right.
More on than off. But there'll be times that I'd quit, and then 6 months later, something would snap, and I'd need a stress release, and I'd pick it up again. And that first one you smoke again after quitting, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Post-coitus darts are never good darts either. I don't know why people say that.
What?
Post-coitus.
Oh, post-coitus. I'm like, what?
Post-coitus. And I laughed. This wasn't the funniest cold open by far, but it was one of their most normal conversations for Letterkenny.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
we've had this conversation with our friends. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It was.
I gotta agree. Like usually the best dart is the morning dart. The first one in the morning. Get up, peace and quiet, calm. Yeah. And I feel like this cold open might have been like a big FU to anybody who complains that they smoke too much on television. And Kiso is exactly 100% right. He could quit smoking before most people could put down the internet. And I agree with that. I mean, I don't think I've quit smoking, but I don't think I could give up the internet for sure.
Yeah. All right, we move on to scene 1. The Hicks are in the farmhouse kitchen having beers. Katie asks Wayne how Jivin Pete is doing. Wayne doesn't answer, but we cut to a montage of scenes where Jivin Pete's constantly arriving late, and we all know from Rakoya how much Wayne values punctuality. Cut back to the kitchen, and Wayne surprisingly says Pete will figure it out. The others warn Wayne not to cut him too much slack, but Wayne repeats the refrain, when a friend asks for help, you help him. Derry says Pete is no friend of his. Kate gets up while reprimanding Derry, saying that a guy who got exiled for 2 years for mailbox stealing doesn't believe in second chances. Wayne notices Katie's new docs.
So you got some new high tops there.
These don't need an introduction.
What are you trying to fucking start a punk band or?
Skaz band?
Skinhead.
Sticks and stones, boys. Docs are timeless fashion, and timeless fashion never goes out of style.
Okay, so what are you? Fucking dairy-free ice cream eater? Or?
Gonna smoke a pipe next?
Oi!
Style tips from Mark's work fucking warehouse. I love it.
Oh, man. Okay, production note. Mark's Work Warehouse, I believe, is a Canadian store. So
is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It is a clothing and footwear retailer specializing in casual and industrial wear, established in 1977. So if you want to buy overalls, steel-toed boots, flannel, anything, long underwear, hard hats, plaid, etc.
And was that steel-toe boots?
Boots.
Or boots?
Boots. You go to Mark's Work Warehouse, and they're all over Canada. So that's why that joke's funny. So Squirrely Dan asks Katie if she really wants to be that guy. Katie asks, what's wrong with being known for something? Squirrely Dan says nothing if it's a good thing. For example, there was a time when Derry was considering rocking a chain wallet, but he didn't want to be that guy. Same with Squirrely Dan when he had a nipple ring. He was that guy. Wayne asks how he got that out. Squirrely Dan says, oh, he was there. Now, that, I believe, is an allusion to a story they told back in season 1 of when they were down in the States, right? Am I right with that one, Jeff?
So Dan's nipple ring, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like one of the very first scenes that we see of Letterkenny, because they're talking about Dan getting tasered and the taser latching onto a nipple ring.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So
that might have been the very first, not the cold open, but the very first Letterkenny scene.
Yeah.
He was up in the tree.
So that's a callback right back to season 1.
See, look, Victor, there's threads
all over the place.
Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Yes. Squirrely then asks Katie if she, oh wait, no, here we go. Where are we? Katie adds that it's like the time she wanted to get cat eye glasses, but she didn't want to be that guy. Same with bangs. Then she asked the guys if she should get bangs. The guys all answer in concert, yes, you should get bangs. Derry asks if he should get bangs. Squirrely Dan tells him dudes don't get bangs, but then they both look at Wayne, who has bangs. Katie says docs are different. They're iconic. And then she changes the subject, noting that Wayne is squinting even more than usual.
Future's bright.
I've been noticing you doing that a lot more recently.
I've noticed you doing it a wee bits more than usual too's, good buddies.
Nah, I think you're squinting just the perfect amount there, good buddy.
You're having trouble seeing, aren't you?
Got a bright future.
When was the last time you went to the ophthalmologist?
Oh, that'd be our class trip to Dr. McDavid's.
It's in grade 2.
Grade 1.
Grade 1?
What's the problem, Katie?
I'm making you an appointment.
Don't you got a fucking warp tour to get to or something? Why don't you go play fucking rockabilly? Fucking steampunk?
Fucking Dad's the Skanks.
Fucking going straight edge.
Get out of here, you fucking stage diver.
I love all the chirps that have to do with Katie's Doc Martens. They're so good. Scene 2.
Absolutely.
Wayne is at the eye doctor sitting across from a lovely looking Dr. McDavid, played by Ashley German, a Canadian actress known for late night double feature, Black Mud and Snow. This is Dr. McDavid. Oh, this Dr. McDavid is probably not the one he saw in first grade.
Say, where's Dr. McDavid?
Dr. McDavid, my grandpa, or Dr. McDavid, my dad?
The doctor's McDavid.
Golf course. Or Legion.
God, I was just thinking, you're kind of young to be a doctor, eh?
I think when you get to a certain age, everyone seems young.
Good enough.
So do you want the good news first or the bad?
Bad.
You're dying.
I'll get my affairs in order.
There's no bad news. Some people with your vision get glasses and some people don't.
Well, then I'll save $1.
What prompted you to get your eyes checked?
I'm told I squint too much.
You got a bright future.
Thank you for your help.
But if the sun's bothering you,
Well, the sun doesn't bother me.
I could apply your prescription to a very stylish pair of sunglasses.
Apparently, so this was called out in the Discord. Dr. McDavid is the same character who prescribes the Ritz or Ritalin to Riley and Jonesy back a few seasons back. So I cannot guarantee or confirm that, but yeah, that's what somebody brought up.
So an optometrist is prescribing
some meds? Yeah, I don't know about that. But anyway,
strange.
Yeah, it seems like
it wouldn't have been Ritalin. It would have been their
or roids or something. I don't know.
That wasn't an
It would have been their
optometrist.
STD medication.
Their STD? Oh,
yeah, because they got the Ritz and roids from the skids.
Oh, okay. Maybe somebody can
That's a very strange
clarify, because I didn't remember it, but they said it was the same actress. So we'll see if that can be confirmed. She was studying. What? Who was studying? Oh,
the girl. So the girl who went to get the
Ritalin
from the skids.
Gotcha. So it was the same actress, or was it the same character?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Thank you, Tobias, for clearing that one up. Scene 3, back at the produce stand. Wayne is sitting there wearing his new sunglasses. The others join him and then cue the sunglass chirping.
You playing shortstop or second?
Hey?
Left field?
Mind your beeswax.
Little brisket for beach volleyballs there's good, buddies.
A little warm for 80s night on slopes.
I could shake my head in these all day. They won't come off.
Prove it.
You look like you're about to rip a Tour de France.
Look like Lance Armstrong if he did even more steroids.
You look like the guy who's going to say something racist into camera at a live on-location news broadcast.
I was waiting for them to make a Brett the Hitman Hart joke because he had those wraparound sunglasses, right?
Yeah.
Squirrely Dan says he thought JP was supposed to be, Jivin Pete was supposed to be there. Wayne grumbles. He's late again. Smells like a brewery all morning and dispensary all afternoon. But Wayne is hesitant.
Want to what? I feel bad for him.
Who the fuck are you?
Like, I'm not getting soft or anything. Just
You're
like,
a fanny pack full of cotton balls.
it's like, it's likely not easy getting yourself sorted after you've been off smoking meth for half a fucking decade.
You're a chocolate marshmallow Santa.
But here he is doing it.
You're baby hair, bud.
Just can't get out of his own way.
You know what? I think those sunglasses are a wee bit tight on your brain, big brother.
Wayne has to do something because Jivin Pete is fucking useless. The others agree. He just doesn't like to kick people when they're down. Scene 4, at Modine's, the Hicks minus Wayne sidle up to the bar. Rosie pokes fun at Squirrely Dan's I Speak Feminist hat. The others join in with, you're not that guy, are you? Squirrely Dan is saved when Riley and Jonesy join them at the bar.
So it's my birthday week.
Sorry, what?
It's my birthday week, and I want to celebrate it with everyone I care about. So I was wondering if you all would meet me here tonight to celebrate the best birthday week ever.
You're that guy?
What guy?
The guy who makes way too big a deal out of his own birthday.
Only 13-year-old girls can use the expression birthday week, you Sally.
Jonesy defends his buddy. It's just been a really tough week for everyone with the Degens fucking with him again. Thibodeau got a job driving Zamboni, but when he didn't show up for work, they had to play their beer league game in an inch of snow. He just thinks birthday week is a birthday week party is something they all need right now.
And you're that guy?
Yes?
The guy who knows what we all need right now?
What next? Anything that brings you mild satisfaction is everything?
And anyone doing anything remotely relatable is all of us?
Gail, the new hand soap you got in the bathroom gives me life.
Oh my God, Katie, that video you posted of Gus sleeping beside his bowl is such a mood.
You're not a tabloid magazine's Twitter account. Stop talking like that.
Well, none of this changes the fact that I still want to make my birthday week.
Don't say birthday week.
Wasn't gonna. Birthday. But I do really want to make a week out of it, so.
We'll come to your birthday party.
Thank you.
Just then, Nick shows up for her shift at the bar. Riley invites Nick to his birthday week party, and Nick tells him not to be that guy. Derry says hi to Nick. She says hi back before disappearing into the kitchen. Derry watches her go, but then gets snapped back to the present by Katie. Gail informs Derry that those little top ponies, or nubbins, are still a thing with dudes in Quebec. Derry is very interested in this news. Next scene, at the murder barn, Wayne wakes Jivin Pete up, who was sleeping on a bale of barley.
Now, there's a way things run around here, and your work ethic is slowing up production.
Okay.
I can see you're trying to turn over a new leaf and all that, and I'm trying to help you. But you're not reliable.
Okay.
Feels to me like there might be a problem. I wonder if it mightn't be a bad idea for you to take some time and get that sorted.
You firing me?
Did I say I was firing you?
Jivin Pete stares at Wayne in the sunglasses intensely and then says okay and leaves. Scene 6, Wayne and his sunglasses are back outside at the produce stand when the skids wheel up on their bikes. Stewart informs Wayne that Jivin Pete's been saying some shit about him. Wayne doesn't react. Stewart says they know it's not true, but he just wants Wayne to know about it.
He came to us for some contraband an hour or so ago, and he was indignant, irked, ireful, ill-tempered.
He said you called us fags. We knew he wouldn't say that, so...
Just then the McMurrays drive up.
Jivin come to the house, looking for a hot tub. Now, he's an old pal, so, I entertained the idea. But then he had the audacity, the little rat bastard, to say that when he was here working with yous, that yous guys were saying you'd like to fuck my old lady, Mrs. McMurray. Now, I know you wouldn't say it. I'm just letting you know. It's being said.
We know you wouldn't say it. Like, if you did.
As Mrs. McMurray presents herself to him.
Jivin was talking
the rest of the Hicks drive up.
shit about you in the Modine's parking lot. Dan went to punch him. He ducked out. Derry went to chase him, but he couldn't catch him.
Well, that's the difference between a friend and a pal. A pal will listen to someone talk shit about you. A friend won't hear a second of it.
Degens are back.
Degens ain't welcomes.
How are we gonna fuck this pig?
Scene 7, back at Modine's. Squirrely Dan, Derry, and Katie join Rosie at the bar. Derry's rocking a nubbin. Rosie starts making fun of him immediately, saying that he's that guy. The skids pop up literally at the bar and start laughing and saying, "Oh my God." Squirrely Dan comforts Derry, saying there's nothing wrong with showing his feminine side. Derry begins to defend himself, but then a Nick comes out and comments. Derry asks if she likes it. She says he looks like all of her cousins, then goes back into the kitchen, leaving Derry dejected and the others snickering.
It's good to be known for something, Daryl. And there's nothing wrong with being that guy. For instance, I wear a bowler hat. I'm that guy.
Yeah, and I wear a bandana. I'm that guy.
Thank you, Skids.
Just don't be that guy! Oh my God!
Hey, Gales, what guys are you?
In town this size?
Yeah.
The black guy.
The great David Beckham could barely pull that off, you fool.
Bender like Beckham.
Hilarious coming from a Clockwork Orange.
They're right. You're no Jon Snow, bud.
Don't you have a Mighty Mighty Boston show to get to?
I'm more of a rancid gal.
What's with the hat, Dan?
I, sirs, am...
Just kidding, I don't give a fuck.
They all start chirping at each other. Then scene 8, Wayne pulls up to Jivin Pete's house in his truck. Jivin Pete's sitting out front with about 6 of his D-Gen friends.
What happens now, Wayne?
You start walking in this direction, or you start running in the other one.
Yeah? You gonna chase me?
Oh, you've done what you've done. And if you want to humiliate yourself right here in front of all your pals by not taking responsibility for it when the times come, well, that's enough for me.
What if we just beat the shit out of you right here and right now?
I'm not leaving here without some sort of resolution.
I came to work every single day, and I poured my heart and soul into that job. You tell me I'm slowing up productions and try and fire me?
I never said I was firing you.
I've been touring 20 years! 20 years, and no one's ever told me I was slowing up production in my life. So maybe you ought to take a good hard look in the mirror. Do some thinking about which one of us is the real problem. Because the only person with an issue here is you.
Yous have upset a lot of people in town.
Yeah, it's a good thing I'm from upcountry.
Jivin Pete says, in spite of all that, Wayne corrects him, it's despite. Despite of all that, Jivin Pete's going to give Wayne a pass. Prove to Wayne he's not the man Wayne thinks he is. He sends Wayne off to gather up some of his pals and come back to sort things out. Final scene, musical montage time. At Modine's, Stuart and Rold are helping Rosie decorate for Riley's birthday week party. At the produce stand, Wayne calls on the other Hicks. Back at Modine's, party preparations continue. Outside the gym, Jonesy picks Riley up to go to the party. Back at the farm, Wayne, Derry, and Squirrely Dan pile into the back of the pickup while Katie drives. They pick up Joint Boy and Tyson and then McMurray. Back to Modine's, where Riley and Jonesy arrive for the party. Over to Jivin Pete's house as the Hicks arrive. It's dark now, but it seems the Degens haven't moved from their spots since Wayne was there earlier. The Hicks jump out of the truck and charge at the Degens. It's a pretty one-sided brawl with the Hicks coming up on top. Again, the Hicks drive back into town. Back at Modine's, the celebration continues, but the Hicks just go back to the produce stand and sit there drinking and smoking in the dark, and we fade to black. All right, that's the episode. We start off with our initial comments, discussion, starting with
so
you.
Many good notes I've got on this one. So,
all right. Well, we're going to start with Josh. No ratings. Just what do you think of this one, Josh?
I enjoyed it. I actually haven't quite finished the last 2 minutes of the show. I literally just started watching it after you sent that message tonight, Al. So I've been trying to not watch ahead. But yeah, I didn't even get time to really make notes on it. So I don't have a whole lot to really throw in here.
All right. Well,
I did like to comment though, if you're not 10 minutes early, you're late.
Yeah. I mean, that's a refrain used a lot throughout. And yeah, for sure.
So let me say the last 2 minutes though. Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's paused on the TV up here. So
yeah,
watching it, but
I'll just say kudos to Billy.
Yeah. That saying though, I was always taught that growing up, to be on time is to be late. Or what is it? To be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late, and to be late is unacceptable. So it kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah.
I'm 10, 15 minutes early usually for everything. So except tonight.
It's a good way to be. No, you were right on time tonight. Are you kidding me? I put out a request for somebody to fill in 10 minutes before I opened the line. So thank you for doing that. Oh, and by the way, just want to note to anybody who's listening, Joshua did go and put his Squirrely Matt t-shirt on.
We have Matt here now.
So he's representing Matt. We have Matt there.
His wife ran and got it for you. Did she not?
I texted my wife. I said, hey, bring my shirt down. So
nice.
Brought it down for me.
Shout out.
Well done. All right. This episode for me, it's kind of a tale of two halves. I really, really, really enjoyed the first half. I thought it was really good. I thought the continuation of the Jivin Pete story of, Wayne kind of trying to help him redeem himself was really good. And I do agree that the final montage was well done. I wrote this in my synopsis. Basically, the Hicks win another fight against the Degens. It was kind of anticlimactic. And I'm trying to understand, and maybe, Jeff and you can, or Victor or Tanya, you can tell me what the significance of the last scene is of them sitting at the produce stand in the dark, having smokes and drinking there, not joining the party. Just seemed a low note to end the season on. There was no cliffhanger. It was just, they had another fight and then they went back to the produce stand and that's the end. I really enjoyed the first half of this episode, though. It was really, really well done. Again, the Jivin Pete story, I was enjoying that and kind of, pulling for him a bit. But in the end, sometimes the leopard can't change its spots, and so I don't mind that he went back to his Degen ways. I don't know. There's something the resolution wasn't left me wanting more. Victor, what do you think?
Let's see. I think for me, this was like a casual, unassuming walk through the park, a park that I've been to many times, where it was very familiar. It was, pleasant in many respects. There's a couple of things that I didn't like about it. And the ending for me was also very forgettable. I think I know where Jeff is going to come from, just in terms of the cinematography and the style and whatnot. So my review is strictly from the story itself, right? From in terms of not kind of the artistic value, just from the story itself. It just felt very. Really, that's the end of the season. That's how we're going to end it. And obviously there's some hidden message, or maybe it's not so hidden. I just don't get it, like in terms of that last scene. But if whatever that message is, I didn't get it. So But yeah, it was just for me, just very familiar, very comfortable home cooking kind of an episode.
Tanya?
So I'm just going to say it. I was confused, but not for the reasons I usually am. I got all the banter, which was a first for me. Which I usually when they reference people and things, I don't know hockey. I don't know like the internets and famous people and stuff like that. So I can't really play along with those. But I was able to get the references that they when they were trying to make fun of Katie's docs. I was able to keep up. But what I was confused about, and it was probably my own doing, how do I word this? We know something because of being at the studio. And so I was waiting to see that thing and not understanding that it wasn't this episode.
Okay, well, so you can say no. She's reluctant to say it because she thinks there's only something we saw. But so in shooting season 12, they posted Instagram shots of a rave in season 12. Right. Tanya was confused, thinking that this season ended in a rave and was waiting for a rave, and the rave never happened.
The whole freaking time, I'm like, oh, okay. So they upped not the Hicks, the Uptown. What are they called?
Degens.
Degens.
Yes,
the Degens. Because there was a reference that yeah. Anyways, I don't know whether I can say anything. So, anyways. There was a reference to something and I'm like, oh, okay, so this is who's going to do this and this is where the rave's going to be. And so the whole freaking episode, I was waiting for the rave to happen and the rave never happened. So that left me confused. But I shook that off. I tried to watch it a second time going, okay, this isn't what I thought this was. So watch it now, not expecting that. But I was still confused because so where to begin? So they all get into the truck. Katie's driving and they start jumping into the pickup part, right? So we got Wayne, Squirrely Dan, and Derry in the back, and they leave the farmhouse. And they go over to first person's house, McMurray's.
No, they pick up Joint Boy and Tyson. Yeah.
And they get into the back.
First, they toss their shirts off to the ground before getting into the truck, by the way.
I'm like, so they left their shirts behind? They have that many shirts so they can just like toss that one and, I don't want to get blood on it or I don't know. Anyways.
They probably have guys.
Shirts go. They hop in. And then they pick up the McMurrays. And then I'm like, where's Mrs. McMurray going?
No, she didn't go.
She did.
No, McMurray got in the truck. She didn't.
I thought she was going to get in with because I thought they were going to the bar.
No. Well, no.
I didn't know that they were going to go back
to fight.
That whole exchange that happened between Wayne and Jivin Pete, I thought that was done, which was strange to me because that usually ends in a fight. So it didn't seem like, okay, I don't know what they're doing, but they're going and having the birthday thing. So anyways, I didn't know. I thought they were going for the birthday. I didn't know they were going back to Jive and Pete. So again, I got confused there. And then they all get out of the truck and Katie's not there. And I'm like, okay, where did Katie go? Because I'm looking for her in the truck. Thinking, okay, is she watching this? Is she going to come out and have a smoke and just be like hanging in the background? And she wasn't there. So I'm like, where'd Katie go? Did they drop her off with Miss McMurray? Anyways, I was trying to track people. She
was still in the truck. She just stayed in the truck.
I think I was still looking for a rave and figuring out where it was going to drop in.
After I told you there's no rave in season 11.
I don't know. I just got real
the morphine kicked in.
Yeah, I think so too.
I got a wee bit loopy and tried to track something that was impossible for me to track. But I don't like when they all gang up on people. Like I think having a week-long birthday is perfectly good. I think you go for it.
Okay. I had a feeling maybe you'd have a hard time with that because you made a week-long birthday for our son. So yeah,
I just go for the week. That's what I say. Go for a freaking month. Like own it. Own the whole month.
I will say
people
this.
that want to pee on your party, I think that's just, you know what? They just don't have any fun in their life.
I didn't enjoy how mean Rosie was being.
I was going to go there on our second round.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, Jeff, save us here. Tell us why we're all wrong.
Yeah.
Well, I don't necessarily think you guys are all wrong. This definitely was kind of like the tale of two episodes kind of mashed together. I've got some extensive notes. I'll try to make it quick.
No.
A lot of throwbacks in this episode.
Yes.
There were a ton of throwbacks in this episode. You got it's Barley.
Yeah.
You got Derry with the mailbox stealing. And one of the funniest things, and I mean, this is only I think the second time it's been done, is Derry pointing at Wayne. When like dudes don't get bangs, and Derry's like,
yeah.
And it's the second time it happened in the episode with the Canadian Pickers episode when they were. It's just hilarious. Like Derry's like, it's like a lost puppy. Docs are iconic. Let me say that for a living, I work for a company that does like usually known for music and fashion, apparel. And over the years, I've been that guy many, many times. So I'm talking, Docs, wallet, chain, piercings, all that stuff. So this episode really hit home to me. All the music references I loved. There were so many. I'm a big punk rock fan.
Right.
So when they were doing oi, oi, oi and talking about Rancid and the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, stuff like that, loved it. That hit home for me. Wayne's sunglasses.
Oh, hilarious, right?
That's my brother. My brother wears that type of sunglasses. He thinks it's cool. He sends me ads. He offers to buy them for me because he gets a discount. It's just no, those sunglasses are not cool.
I think you would look funny in them.
Yes. Yeah. Just not me.
For Halloween.
So a couple of things that you guys haven't talked about yet. Dan being the feminist, that guy, that was great. You already know all this stuff about Dan.
Yeah.
You know that he's he's a women's rights supporter. But to be that guy and go over the top and like wearing the hat, and
especially in the face of all of the chirping he was getting from Katie and from Rosie, like he was getting chirped a lot.
And at some point, everybody was that guy at one point in this episode. So Wayne was the sunglasses, that guy.
Right.
Dan was the feminist, that guy. So when we get to Modine's, and Dan's wearing his I Speak Feminist hat, that was hilarious. Another throwback in there, we get a fuck you, Thibodeau.
Yep.
And then all of the man bun talk. Poor Daryl in this season. Let me just say, first off, Daryl is missing from 2 whole episodes.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah.
And then we've got Daryl in this episode and the previous episode just getting hammered on. Last week by Alexander in one of the funniest things in Letterkenny history.
Yeah.
And this week it was everybody at the bar, Daryl trying to, peacock himself and, get some attention from an ick, and nobody's having it. Nobody's having, not even NX having it. So, I love the mansplaining talk. They mentioned that, and mansplaining, for people who don't know, is men explaining.
Well done.
Nice. Well played.
So one of the things, and I think Casey mentioned it in the chat, so this is going to kind of help tie everything together. Wayne was not as much on the spectrum in this episode. So this is the first time. When else do you see Wayne being this empathetic towards another person? And that really like kind of humanized him a little bit more. I mean, we all love Wayne, don't get me wrong, but there's always been that aspect of his personality that's kind of been missing,
or robotic almost. Yeah.
Right. Very robotic. And in this case, he was still robotic, but it was in like a very more positive type way. Like he's trying to help somebody out.
Well, he admits he feels bad for Jive and Pete, and I read the same comments you did on the live stream, so I'm understanding a bit more. Like I get it. Like he's trying to help a friend who doesn't want to be helped, and I think we've all been there, right? We've all had those friends that we try to help, and they're their own worst enemies, and they can't get out of it their way. And you're right. When it fails, or when you come to the realization there's nothing we can do for them, I can see how that can leave you. Well, I know it leaves you like, what else can you do? You got to throw
kind of heartbroken a little.
Yeah, you're heartbroken. You throw it. Yeah. So okay, that explains that last scene a bit better.
Yeah. I'll get back to that last scene here in just a second, but I wanted to mention Billy did an awesome job, and Billy's crew did an awesome job. This particular episode, we got some really nice shots at the end. But before we get to that, I think this is the first time we've ever seen when they get back to the produce stand. First time I think we've seen the particular shot of the house from the back left.
I noticed that. I had to rewind that, going, what house is that? And it's a farmhouse, but it's from a weird angle that we've never seen before. Yeah, I made note of that.
That was kind of cool, because how many times have we seen the farmhouse? But I had to go, is that the farmhouse?
Yeah.
So just a little thing off the side. Side note, would McMurray really be that upset if he found out that Wayne wanted to tag Mrs. McMurray?
I thought that scene was going to go elsewhere, where he would have said, "It's okay if you want to, but the three of us have to be together," or something like that, right?
Well, but Mrs. McMurray presented herself to him. He said, "But just in case that's what you wanted to do," she kind of presented herself, saying, "Yeah, I'm here for you." I think McMurray was taking exception just to the fact that Jive and Pete was talking shit about Wayne.
Yeah. It was an opportunity for a gag.
Yeah, for sure. Go on.
Another note is, why does nobody ever pull into the driveway normally? Never.
Oh, the three vehicles?
The bikes are the best. Yeah. The two bikes.
I remember doing that when I was a kid. Yeah, just kind of like step off and let the bike keep going. I love that.
Right? But it's so weird. Like nobody, they don't pull up and park
Oh, Victor, that was such a dad comment. Really? Because you didn't pay for it? Come on. I just got that.
Okay.
God damn. Okay, you want to talk about Billy's cinematography? Can I know this is a shot you're going to mention, but how gorgeous was that shot when they're driving away from Jive and Pete's in the back of the truck with the moon? That was beautiful. That's got to be like, they must have like been, holy shit, like lucky time for this to happen, because it was a clear night, and it was gorgeous.
That's what I'm thinking, because you always hear about the golden hour, which I always thought was in the morning, but apparently it might be at night too, because it was beautiful. And like during that entire montage, it was very well shot. It was very, very, very artistic, and it started from the moment the Hicks are walking down the back steps. There's something very, I mean, the musical selection was perfect too.
Oh, great song. Yeah.
Yeah, it made it. It was very like peaceful and calm and like
somber. It was somber. So you know what? That adds to the mood that maybe Wayne was feeling. He didn't want to do what he was going to do, but he. I mean, you could argue that he didn't have to. He left, but he needed a resolution. Whatever.
Well, I mean, Wayne's also got a couple of lines in there too. So, start walking in this direction or start running in the other, and I had two other little notes here. Just side notes. Pete's supposed to be a meth head, right? His teeth are way too nice to be a meth head. And then I think in the background, if I remember right, didn't we see Allison Orson Westwood Yates?
Yeah, he was there. Yeah, stop showing off that you can say his name without stumbling like I do. There was also Radass and I forget the other guys who were there, but there was a few.
Was Sled Ted there?
I don't remember.
I didn't really. I just noticed. Allison Orson Westwood Yates popped out at me. Nice. So back to the beautiful shots. Evening shots, walking off the back deck. Such a trivial thing they've done 100 times, but Billy just made it look like a piece of art. it was comforting to me. And it might have been because Alice, a throwback to that other podcast we've been talking about.
Yeah.
They did one of the episodes was about Alan Jackson's Chattahoochee. And he mentioned that in every good country song, for it to be a good country song, you need to have a familiar, like almost like a stereotype thing to make it work. So this was them walking down the back steps was like the Pyramid of Cans in the pale moonlight. That's what came to my head. It was very, very comforting. The back of the truck in the moonlight, beautiful. And then the produce stand at night. We haven't ever seen that shot before in all these seasons.
Not lighting. Yeah.
No. And it was absolutely gorgeous. I love how, give some extra props to their lighting department too, because I love how there's certain scenes where they'll light the trees.
Yeah.
And the way that the trees are lit, it's just beautiful. It's just gorgeous. So for such a minor character, Pete had a huge story arc in this season.
Yeah, he did, for sure.
Yeah. And at the end of it though, I'll say, yeah, I was like, is that it? But I feel like maybe they're setting something up for season 12 with, I'm hoping, maybe there'll be like that 7th episode will help deal with this if they pop up a surprise 7th episode.
Right.
The thing, I'm just going to toss this out there. Wayne saying, if you can be a man at night, you can be a man in the morning, or if you be a man in the morning, you can be a man at night. There we go. Is that that might be something? Cause that's why they finished off with that night shot. They were being men in the morning, be a man at night. I don't know. Might be too flowery. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it, but overall the story, might have been a little, I don't want to say it was bad. I think it was it felt like it needed a little bit more time, maybe an extra episode to develop. Maybe that's just me wanting more Letterkenny.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. But overall, I mean, I thought everything else was good, was really good in the episode. So,
okay.
It is what it is.
Yeah. So we'll start with ratings. And Josh, you're at the top of my list. What rating would you give this episode?
I'd give it a fresh.
Yeah.
Just what I saw of it anyway.
Okay. So a few things here. I loved the Doc Martin jokes. I liked the cold open. I found Rosie was being a little uncharacteristically mean towards Squirrely Dan, towards Riley. Just like every scene, every line she had, she was like criticizing or judging somebody. And that, I feel like that's not the Rosie character. So that was kind of weird. The explanation now to the last scene does kind of make it a little bit better. Now that I think of it. Yeah. I mean, we've never seen Wayne this adamant to help a degen before, right? Like he's admitting to feeling sorry for Jivin Pete. He's giving him more chances than he would give anybody else. I mean, more chances that he gave the Okoya guys, right? So yeah, now I guess it makes sense. Like he felt like he had no choice but to give up on this friend of his. His friend is not redeemable. So given that last shot at the produce stand in the dark makes more sense. Because I watched it a bunch of times and only now am I kind of understanding it. I'm having a hard time giving this one a fresh. So I'm going to give it a clearance because it's a good episode. There's a lot of really good stuff in it, but it's also a season finale and it didn't finish strong. And I want season finales to finish strong. So I'm going to give this one clearance. Victor?
Well, and just to add in there real quick, sorry, Victor, but for me, it was borderline between fresh and clearance, but it's Letterkenny.
Yeah.
I'm fresh over clearance if it's borderline for me. So
plus you're channeling your Matt, and Matt would probably give this one a fresh. I feel like.
Well, yeah. Thanks for your rating on an 80% of the show. But anyway,
go ahead, Victor.
Yeah. So before the ratings, a couple of things. First, stylish Pete. No, that's not right. Slimy Pete. What's his name? Jivin Pete. Yes. So that's a pretty passionate speech he gives there at the end, right? I mean, and then it was so passionate that I'm thinking, is he just delusional and not self-aware and really believes that he, put his heart and soul into that job, or is he just gaslighting Wayne? And I couldn't tell. I couldn't figure out because he's a degen, right? So it could be either. So I thought that the passion of that speech for me was confusing, and I don't know if it was meant to be confusing. So that was weird, and I really so first of all, the chirping at the beginning was probably the funniest part of the show with the docs. For me, again, the cold open didn't do anything just because, but that's a me problem, and I get it. But the scene with the docs was probably the one that had the most laughs. There was a few nice chirps towards the birthday and towards the skids. I did not like anything that came out of Rosie's mouth. She was just not a likable character in this. And the worst part was, it was with a Squirrely Dan, where she already smacked him down several times, and then finally towards the end he's about to give a story about his hat, and she says, nobody, whatever she said, nobody cares. She, you expect it from Katie. It wasn't funny. It was just it just left such a bad taste. We all like Dan, and I can't imagine her saying that if Wayne was there. If Wayne was there, is she really gonna be so disrespectful towards Squirrely? I don't think so. And that's a bit two-faced for me.
I think yes, but she wasn't being like, I never took anything that they were saying in the bar as
not
them,
they, her.
No. But I mean, what anybody was, because all of them were chirping one another in the bar. It's more, it's meaner than we're used to getting out of Rosie. But I mean, I don't think it was like hurtful. I think at the end of the day,
what does she say to Dan? She said, nobody fucking cares, or shut the fuck up, or something like that. I'm trying to remember.
That's stuff people have said to like Derry before. That's stuff Wayne said to people before.
It's usually Katie saying it though. That's usually Katie saying it though, not Rosie.
I don't know. I didn't like it. But I mean, for me, that's just kind of one of the things I just wanted to kind of call out before giving the rating. Overall, I just thought it just was just an okay episode. Like even understanding the end scene, it's still just an okay. Like the ending of the thing was just very predictable. Not that it's like, okay, of course it's predictable, but it was just okay. It was a stroll through the park. It was very familiar. It was a typical Letterkenny episode. There was a lot of beautiful shots, beautiful scenery, some very clever dialogue. Love the chirps. But for me, it's a clearance.
Okay. Dan?
I gotta echo a lot of what Victor's saying. Like I was also confused when Jivin Pete was giving it back to Wayne, and that seemed to be his true perspective, that he was trying to give it his all. And if somebody is been down and out and on meth and not really living for how long, that really could have felt like he was giving it his all.
Yeah,
he's been out for such a long time.
I mean, you'll know who I'm talking about when I say this.
And I know, yeah.
When you have a friend who is his own worst enemy, usually that person is also, it's everyone else's fault but his.
Yes.
No one understands him. You know who I'm talking about.
Person.
So
I know that person.
So I get it. That Jivin Pete speech at the end there,
we've
hit hard. I thought it was actually a really good speech, and I think he believes it. But like Victor said, he's not being self-aware, because what we see is him sleeping on the job, arriving late all the time, and being drunk or hungover and high in the afternoon, right? So I think it's all of that. I think he's exhibiting the traits of somebody who is a constant victim, but is beyond help, right?
I mean, not to stereotype, but a lot of times that's what addicts, I think, end up doing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's sad, but I mean, we see that Pete's sleeping on the job. To me, what person would say they're working hard when literally they're sleeping on the job?
Exactly. Yeah. So what's your rating?
Yeah, I see what you guys are saying. I don't know. There was pockets that just still confused me. Like again, going back and fighting everyone and did they end up going to the party or no? Then
no,
they just
didn't.
ended
they
up
just,
all going.
Because that ending now kind of makes sense, especially for, if you're Wayne and you've given up on a friend and you've written them off, you don't feel like going to a party. And maybe
So who went to the party?
Rosie was at the party. The Skids were at the party. Riley and Jonesy, Gail and Nick, and Bonnie. So everyone except the people who were in the fight.
Gotcha. All right.
So I get it. Wayne didn't feel like partying and his friends were there for him. They wanted to sit with him and that ending now makes a whole lot more sense to me. I think I like that ending way more now, given that point of view. It just took me too long to get to that point of view. So I think, I don't know, they might have been able to do that better.
Yeah. I guess I just really wish that for a season ender, like that there was something, I don't know, that we left off either lingering to want more or I know it's not their style for a happy ending sort of thing, but it's just like, I don't know, there was missing something. There was still something missing. Yes, there were some funny parts. Yes, I laughed out loud on some of it. But I think because of the question marks that I still have in my head and that it needs to be mansplained to me, I'm going to give it a clearance.
Okay. Tobias, you have the line of the night. They got
Tobias?
right down there with him. I love that.
He's got it.
On the live stream.
What's that?
I saw that. I was going to echo something that Awesome. Oh, sorry. My turn now. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, your turn, Jeff.
I'm jumping ahead.
That's
I was
okay.
going to echo something that Awesome said. Awesome said it better than I did. So the just kidding, I don't give a fuck. That's something that every single one of them has said.
Yeah.
Not every single one, but most of them have said. So it's not mean spirited at all. It's just something that they do. So for me, all right. So my first go through on this, I was kind of flat. I'm like, yeah, it's an okay episode. It definitely wasn't a compost. But I wanted it to be better than it was. I rewatched it. I mean, I probably a dozen times now. Just picking up on little things here and there. I think in the end for me, it's going to be. It spoke to me just in like I love the cold open. As a former smoker, I love the cold open. I got it. That spoke to me. All the music stuff, loved the music stuff. Rancid and Out Come the Wolves, one of my favorite albums of all time. Loved the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones reference. Oh my God, yes. That great. The that guy stuff I loved.
Yeah, that was a good device. I really enjoyed that device throughout the whole episode as well.
And at one point or another, everybody in the episode was that guy. And they were even making fun of themselves for being that guy. Like Gail pointed out, she's the black guy, and it's like, oh, okay.
She's the sex guy. Come on.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. McMurray would be the sex guy, wouldn't he?
No, he's the pervert.
Guy. Pervert guy.
That would make Mrs. Mac the drunk.
That's right.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, the Jivin Pete story definitely was, I think it was more artsy than we're used to out of Letterkenny. It was more, it was deeper, it had a lot of feeling to it and not as much funny. So that might have, fallen a little flat in terms of like the Letterkenny universe. What put it over the top for me, and I'm going to give it a fresh, but it's a low fresh.
Okay.
Billy's work. Billy Buttrey, if you're listening to this, amazing job, amazing shots, just beautiful. Thank you, sir.
All right. We're going to move on to, there's a lot of discussion in the live stream.
Lots.
We're going to move on to MVPs, and we'll start with Josh. Sorry. Who's your MVP for this episode?
You know what? I have no idea. I haven't even thought about that. I know this part's coming, and you'd think I'd been thinking about this.
You're fitting right in, man. You're playing the Matt role perfectly.
His MVP
It's
is
hard
in the
to go
bit that
first,
he didn't
isn't it,
watch yet.
Joshua?
Okay.
It is when you watch the episode. Like,
It should be fresh in your mind.
We'll give you some ideas then. I'll give you my two runners up and then my MVP. And I'm gonna be a bit of a be a bit of Victor here in terms of who I'm picking or what I'm picking.
They're honorable mentions.
Yeah,
You're going to keep confusing people.
You're right. Honorable mention number 3, Wayne. I really enjoyed him, especially in the cold open. That really subtle acting he does, a lot of under the breath stuff. I really enjoyed that. But also him, again, showing a different side of himself throughout the episode, really wanting to help this friend and really wanting to be there. And you can see, he didn't want to do what he did. Arguably he didn't have to, but again, he didn't want to do what he did. So I give him a runner-up. Second runner-up, sunglass chirps. I thought they were great. Him wearing the sunglasses and all the heck he was catching. But I got to give it my number 1 MVP to the Doc Martin chirps, because they were the best.
Wow.
I love those, like all the Mighty Boss tones. Oh, what are you gonna stage?
Al, you're doing it right when you're getting a reaction from Victor.
Yeah, exactly. Victor, who is your MVP? He's just jealous.
Oh wait, no, aren't we gonna play?
Oh, that's right. We're skipping Victor. Sorry, Tanya. Who's your MVP?
Oh God. See, there's no standout person in this episode. Like, I just don't feel like there was a person that
you haven't given this any thought, have you?
No.
God damn it.
I just don't think there was a person that like the last episode, the dicks were like, everybody was just, everything was on fire. I wish the last episode was this episode and vice versa, because that one ended fun and strong and everybody was in and partying and it was great. This one though is a little bit more tricky. Who gets the MVP? Stop
Two
it, Victor.
spatulas in a row. God damn it.
Somebody said you should give it to the rave. Didn't happen.
Blank rave.
That's a good comment.
I'm gonna say what I also I can't. Can I say what Victor's is as well as my own?
No, say yours first. Write down what you think Victor's is going to be. Come on.
I'm gonna give it to the song, the montage song.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah, it's a great song.
The song was.
Shut up. You've given it to a song before. Jesus Christ.
Are you kidding?
No, I never give generalistic
yeah, you do.
MVPs.
What? You gave an MVP to the Bossa Nova song at the end of the thing.
That's not generalistic. She said the song. What song are you?
The song during the montage.
Okay,
I said the M. I said montage.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay,
at
Victor.
The end.
Or sorry,
Good
Jeff.
Lord,
Jeff.
make me come
Who's your
through
MVP?
the screen and.
We're derailing.
You and your shoulder.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting to see Victor and Tanya duke it out here.
I know, right?
So when we get to Victor's part, I've got 3 guesses and then my real guess. But I'll tell you,
don't hurt your shoulder.
My MVP is it's going to be Billy.
Nice.
Okay, yeah.
Just again, like the man is amazing. Great job. You've got not only the entire montage was fantastically shot, but you also got that new angle on the house. So finding fresh ways in season 11 to add a little extra spice to the cinematography.
Okay, Josh, do you have any ideas now?
He said new angle, not Kurt Angle.
I was thinking about it. And, I'm going to look at it from a different angle here.
Kurt Angle?
I am. Because without this person, you wouldn't have any of the rest of the stuff going on in the episode. And I'm going to go with Jivin Pete.
Okay. You know what? I mean, he did a lot of heavy lifting in this episode. Why not?
He had the big speech.
Yeah, he doesn't. You don't have to have
him. The episode falls apart.
Yeah,
right. For one of the many characters in this Simpson-esque world they've got going on, that's a good choice.
All right, so Victor, your MVP. Sir. We're on pins and needles.
Oh, it's easy. It's that guy.
I don't like you.
Oh, good Lord.
I should have seen that coming.
Did anybody get that guy?
Yeah.
What's that guy?
Yes, ironically, Jivin Pete did a bunch of heavy lifting without actually doing any heavy lifting. You're right. Thank you, Liz. That guy. Of course it's that guy. Holy shit.
And I'm sorry, I can't say the song and you can say that guy.
Hey, mine is relatable.
Anyway.
Dan, your choice
Josh,
was excellent.
did you have any guesses as to what Victor's MVP was?
I put that it was.
I asked Josh.
He fires me up.
I had nowhere near that.
No. I put down Derry's nubbin just because why not?
Would have been a good one.
Yeah,
I think it's called the ponchik in Russian.
Okay, explain yourself. I said the montage song. So who is that guy? I can't believe I'm asking a freaking question.
Just give me your guess. Enough.
No, who is that guy?
The saying that guy. You don't want to be that guy.
Oh, that guy. Not that guy, but that guy.
Yes.
Quotation that guy.
Yes. Quotes.
Not that guy as in the show, as in
anyway,
the person that.
Stop.
Oh, he is having way too much fun. I thought it was going to be the song because the song was really great, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is." It's Victor and I are channeling each other today, and it's going to be.
Victor answer. It makes too much sense.
The montage song. He's picked them before.
Yeah, but for this episode,
and there was a lot of guitar. And I was
was a lot of guitar, yeah.
There was a lot of guitar and it was beautifully done. And I was like, oh my God, he's going to be obsessed about this song. It's going to be the song.
It's a good song.
It's a great song.
No, it's too late, Victor. I don't want to hear it.
All right, Jeff, you say you had a few guesses for what
I had 5 guesses and none of them were right.
No, of course not. No.
Starting at the top, my guess number 1 was the pair of butterflies that flew across the screen and pulled open.
The pair of butterflies.
I didn't see them.
Guess number 2 is what appears to be a laundry basket on a shelf seen through the curtain on the back porch. Look closely, you'll see it.
I love this. Go on.
Guess number 3 was the pair of dragonflies that flew across the top of the screen.
I didn't see any of this shit.
Back left shot of the house.
So it's all perfect. Yes.
Number 4 is the 1970s couch cushion that was propped up in front of what looks like a dog house to the left of Wayne's truck when he pulls into Jivin Pete's.
Oh my God.
And like my legitimate guess was the greasy guitar strings in the closing song.
Oh,
nice,
wow.
Nice. That's almost like Tanya's, so that's pretty good.
Very close.
Those all sound like very Victor guesses.
They are. So
I was trying. I was legitimately trying to
remember one time Victor's MVP was the turtle, quote unquote, the fucking turtle.
And the fish.
No, but the turtle. No one noticed. I mean, you saw the fish. No one noticed the turtle brooch that.
The blackout.
Oh, man.
Just
anyway.
Ridiculous.
Okay, I got to move on.
Okay, but I need to know now, have you ever been right about what Victor's MVP? Like, when do you play the game at home and have you won it?
We need to market the home game.
I just want to know if it's winnable.
I've won it on one occasion.
Have you now? That's impressive.
I can't remember what the episode was.
We need a T-shirt made about that now. I won the Victor MVP game.
Victor's MVP.
It would be the worst selling T-shirt we have because no one would buy it.
Well, you would buy now. Jeff has won it, so he should be. Yeah, you should have that T-shirt sent to him.
All right, we got to move on. I got some listener comments here I want to hit. So today was the 2-year anniversary of our Kate Trevor Wilson interview. So we that came out on the Throwback Thursday tweet this morning, and we got some responses to that. So here's one. If you're a Letterkenny fan, you owe it to yourself to listen to this interview. Kate Trevor is a delight. Such a great conversation with the gang. That's from our friend Shannon Loves Horror. Thank you, Shannon. I literally just listened to this episode yesterday. What are the chances? Found your podcast and I've been catching up while I'm at work. And that's our new friend Cassie, who just joined the Discord too. So thank you, Cassie, for that, and thanks for joining us. I just heard you read out my my awkward tweet, and I died laughing at work. To clear it up, I 100% enjoy your podcast. That's from Casey, another one of our newest Discord members. Thank you, Casey, for listening. Not so bad. Started watching Corner Gas over the weekend. Never heard of it until I heard you guys talk about it. They have the series and movie on Amazon's Freevee. It's pretty funny. Wife and I have been enjoying it. That's from West Ham, Ohio. Thank you, West Ham, Ohio, for listening. I jumped. Oh, okay. And here is, I'm going to start calling PJ McCarthy. He's going to be our Victor correspondent because every week he comes up with some analysis of Victor's episode. And here's his analysis from last week. I jumped off the Victor bus because of his thoughts on the opener. I jumped back on as he was the only one who brought up Katie's focus on something material like Doc Martens. Totally out of character for her. Top 5 episode for sure. Occur. Also, for a quick second, the jumping guy reminded me of Tyson and made me miss both Joint Boy and Tyson. They need to be brought in. So that's from PJ McCarthy, our new Victor correspondent. Thank you, PJ, for listening. And final comment here from another new member of our Discord. Victor makes this podcast almost unlistenable.
Oh, dear.
He aggressively misses the theme and points of almost every episode. People have different opinions, but he seems almost pathologically oppositional.
Oh my!
I love it. Thank you, Yegman76, and he's also just joined the Discord. He's the one I said.
All I have to say is, what do you expect from an Oilers fan? Is what I got to say about that.
Jesus. Oh man! So he's joined the Discord just so he could yell at Victor personally and directly. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, we're moving on to final thoughts. Josh, what are your final comments?
I don't know. I just hope tonight was fun.
Yeah, thank you for coming on and being a last minute guest, by the way.
Yeah, after the way things have been going, it's been nice to get on here and actually have some fun, even though I wasn't all that up on the episode.
Oh,
but I'll blame Matt for that one. He's not here. So thanks, Matt.
Such a degen. He is such a degen.
Steal a quote from Chad, Matt. Fuck you, Matt. There you go, Chad. But yeah, no. Thanks for having me. Let me fill in last minute. It was fun.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, Josh, for filling in. Careful of falling bodies around your house, please. But do share the video because we want to see it.
I have it.
Not to the public, but maybe in the Discord. Thank you for filling in. You did a great job. Jeff, awesome dude, as always. And we appreciate you being on, and we appreciate all of your insight on this episode. Sorry we couldn't give you a unicorn, but they can't all be unicorns. But I'm glad we were able to get you on for an actual season recap or episode recap. I appreciate you, Victor.
Josh, I liked your cold open. Your review of the episode was a little bit flatlined, but that's okay. I'm sorry that we didn't have a chance to chat about trains today. I was hoping that maybe there would be an opportunity next time. Jeff, you were incredible. Like your notes at the end. I mean, that was
they almost swayed Victor.
You know what? You made me think about it differently. You helped us understand the episode. You're a beauty. That's all I got to say. And you're welcome back anytime.
Thank you.
So there you go.
Okay, 10.
I just reiterating what the guys are saying here. Joshua, thank you so much. Please put a sign up at your house for people to be careful, or that you're, if you fall at your own risk, like you're not going to cover insurance or something, like something you need a disclaimer of some kind, I think.
Put something up says beware of falling people.
It was fantastic to have you out tonight. Thank you so much for filling in. Jeff, thank you for bringing your notes and bringing your such great thoughts. And you did almost sway us and brought up really great points. And thank you for that, because obviously I was very truthful. I was confused. I was.
All right, and Jeff.
This was great. It was fun to finally, I feel like I've been here forever, but this is, the first actual review episode that I've done. And I was a little nervous, so I had copious amounts of notes. It was, it was fun. I wish it would have been, like a unicorn type episode. But I'll take this. The banter that we had this week is the reason that this podcast is so successful, because it's very entertaining. Mm-hmm. Even if we don't get a fresh out of the episode, we get a fresh out of the podcast.
Nice.
But it's almost unlistenable.
No, only you are unlistenable.
When you choose Anyways,
how about those trains, Victor?
Anyway, I'm going to play us off here with the beautiful song from tonight's episode called Plugged In by Brendan Canning.
What comes out silence? Too much weight.
And that's all we have for this episode. Next week, our friends Dean and Tiara from the How Are You Now podcast pay their regular visit to recap and review all of season 11. It's always a great time when we have them on. You won't want to miss it. Don't forget to give our sponsor, Diabolical Coffee, some love. They are at diabolicalcoffee.com. Right now, you can use a promo code PRODUCESTAN for 20% off any purchase from their site. If you'd like to support the podcast, rate us on iTunes, Spotify, or become a patron. You can also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at ProduceStandPod. Thanks for joining us. Now we're going to go join the Degens in the after party. On behalf of Jeff, Tanya, Joshua, Victor, and myself, thank you for listening and have a great week.